So we've been doing this show for 11 episodes now, and I think the table's getting a little boring every week, so we're going to mix it up a little bit with a brand new gimmick. I'm going to stand up for this episode. Invasion of Astro-Monster, directed by Ishiro Honda, was released on December 19th, 1965. This is the first Godzilla movie to feature an alien invasion. Invasion of Astro-Monster, also known by its US title Monster Zero, or its original Japanese title, The Great Monster War, is considered to be an all-time classic of the series. It is a co-production between Toho and Henry G. Saperstein and features American actor Nick Adams. It is also the last production of the original kaiju boom era, and the last made with the dream team of Ishiro Honda, Tomoyuki Tanaka, Shinichi Sekizawa, and Eiji Tsuburaya. Shocking news! A new planet has been discovered orbiting on the far side of Jupiter. Planet X, as it is named, is the latest major discovery by humanity. The World Space Agency dispatches 2 astronauts, Fuji and Glenn, to land on Planet X and study its surface. When the 2 arrive, they soon find out they are not alone, as a race of aliens called the GODZILLA are already living on Planet X. The GODZILLA have been forced underground by an angry King Ghidorah, who seemingly went to Planet X after being defeated by Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra in the previous film. The GODZILLA call him Monster Zero. See, that's where the title came from, the US release. You know, it's a clever thing they just... The GODZILLA ask Fuji and Glenn to talk to the world and convince Earth to let Planet X borrow Godzilla and Rodan to defeat Ghidorah. The controller of Planet X even tells the astronauts exactly where Godzilla and Rodan are sleeping. In exchange for the monsters, the GODZILLA promise to give humanity the cure to cancer. In the English version, they promise the cure to all known diseases. Also happening at the same time is Tetsuo, the boyfriend of astronaut Fuji's sister, and an inventor who has created something called the Lady Guard, a device that creates a very loud alarm sound. It is sold to a toy company who is represented by the mysterious Miss Namikawa. Fuji and Glenn arrive on Earth and the GODZILLA's proposal is considered. The military goes to check where the GODZILLA said Godzilla and Rodan would be, and it is revealed they were telling the truth. During the deliberation, it is revealed that Glenn has a relationship with Miss Namikawa, and Tetsuo follows them to get more information from Namikawa about the Lady Guard's use. Tetsuo, however, stumbles upon the horrible truth that the GODZILLA are already on Earth, and is quickly captured by them. Soon after, the GODZILLA reveal themselves to be on Earth as saucers start to rise out of Lake Myojin. The deliberation ends with humanity agreeing to lend the GODZILLA the monsters. Soon after, the GODZILLA, Fuji, Glenn, and the WSA director, Dr. Sakurai, travel to Planet X with Godzilla and Rodan in tow. Once they land on the planet, Ghidorah soon appears, leading to Godzilla and Rodan quickly fighting and dispatching Ghidorah. The GODZILLA consider it a victory. While this is happening, Fuji and Glenn sneak off and find a woman who looks exactly like Miss Namikawa, and then another one who looks just like Miss Namikawa. It is quickly determined that all GODZILLA women are identical. The GODZILLA quickly capture Fuji and Glenn, and the 2 are reprimanded for their behavior. Afterwards, the astronauts are given the tape that contains the cure for cancer, or all known diseases, depending on which version you watch. And the GODZILLA even say they will keep Godzilla and Rodan on Planet X so the monsters will not cause any more problems on Earth. Once the astronauts arrive back on Earth, the tape is played, only to reveal that it is actually a declaration that Earth will become a colony of Planet X, and that if humanity does not cooperate, Earth will be destroyed. This triggers mass panic around the globe. Glenn finds Miss Namikawa now in GODZILLA dress and tries to help her escape, but is caught by the GODZILLA. She slips a note into his pocket and is killed. Glenn is taken to the GODZILLA Earth base and is locked in the same cell as Tetsuo. The Godzillians bring Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah to Earth and have them under mind control using electromagnetic waves. Fuji quickly determines that A-cycle light rays will interrupt the signal and stop the control over the monsters. At the same time, Tetsuo and Glenn find the note left by Miss Namikawa and discover that the Godzillians are weak to a certain sound wave that the Lady Guard produces. They use the prototype of the Lady Guard to escape the Godzillian base and get back to the WSA. The Godzillians' attack on Earth begins, and the WSA sets up A-cycle light ray cannons and broadcasts the sound of the Lady Guard all over Japan using public radio. The combination of attacks work and the Godzillians are stopped, leaving Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah dazed. The three quickly come to their senses and fight, defeating Ghidorah once more. As the monsters leave, Fuji and Glenn are told they will have to go back to Planet X for more research as the film concludes. This movie is considered to be an all-time classic from both Japanese and American Godzilla fans. And I agree, this movie is really solid, but this movie is more alien invasion with Godzilla in it rather than a Godzilla film with an alien invasion in it, so keep that in mind when you watch the film. The plot is a great alien invasion plot with some fun twists and turns. The reveal that the sound waves from the Lady Guard are the trick to stopping the Godzillians is truly inspired. Speaking of the Godzillians, they are fantastic in this movie. I love their costumes that look straight out of the 60s in the right possible way. The thin sunglasses are really cool. Also, there's this strange filter put over the voices of the actors, and it's really, really cool sounding. Almost sounds like they're talking through like walkie-talkies. Special commendation to Yoshio Tsuchiya for his performance as the controller of Planet X. He really gives off the weird alien vibe that is hard to replicate for other movies. This movie features Nick Adams, an American actor who had a deal with Toho to appear in some of their movies. Adams had previously appeared in several American movies and is said to have had a solid friendship with Elvis Presley, as well as being in the starring role of the 1959 TV series The Rebel. He then went to Toho in the early 1960s. He did 3 films, all in 1965. International Secret Police, Key of Keys, Frankenstein vs. Baragon, and Invasion of Astro-Monster. In a bit of Hollywood mystery, Nick Adams was found dead in his apartment in 1968 from an apparent drug overdose, though it has been up for debate on what actually happened to this day. Moving on to a lighter note, this movie's production design is great. I love this movie's look. 1960s futurism is one of my favorite things ever. The spaceship P-1 as well as WSA control and the outer complex surrounding it is so cool looking. Planet X is awesome. The cold utilitarian look of the Godzillian base mixed with the desolation of the surface of the world makes it a really unique look. Honda's directing in this movie is great, though he would step away from the Godzilla series for a while after this film, due to the lowering budgets of the movies. I also assume there had to have been some burnout, as of the previous 6 Godzilla movies that have been produced up to that point, 5 of them were directed by Ishiro Honda. The movie's effects work was done by Eiji Tsuburaya, and for the first time in the series, Invasion of Astro-Monster reuses footage from previous films in the series, a tradition that would continue for the rest of the Showa era. The suits for Rodan and Ghidorah are reused, though with some minor alterations, but the Godzilla suit is brand new, this being referred to as the Daiseno Goji. The design is a little more personified than the previous ones of the Mosu Goji and King Goji. This movie also features a larger scale Godzilla foot used for destroying larger building miniatures. The score is done by Akira Ifukube, in one of his most iconic film scores ever. Highlight tracks including the main theme and the theme for Planet X. This movie features some of the first moments of anthropomorphizing Godzilla. When Godzilla defeats Ghidorah on Planet X, he does a little dance. This dance is actually a pop culture reference to the manga Osumatsu-kun. It is called the Shie Dance. Well, that's all I have on Invasion of Astro-Monster. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. I'll see you next time where we cover something a little different. Home media.